to the channel. I hope everyone had a good day or is having a good day, depending on when this reaches you, and that you either got something accomplished or you were able to relax. Either way, did something that was good for you. If not, hopefully soon. Today I noticed something on my car, and it's been kind of frustrating me because it was meant to get fixed already. I rear-ended somebody a few months ago. I got my car in the shop last month, and I recently got it back, but the light, one of the headlights still isn't working. They quickly changed a fuse under the hood to get it working, so I left the lot, but it only worked for like a day, and I checked the fuse and the fuse is still good, so it's clearly a wire issue. They might have even lied to me about the fuse, I'm not sure. But it's not the bulb. They checked the bulb, and what I believe happened is either a wire got pinched and got mangled or burnt, melted during the rear end, or it just got yanked loose. Maybe one connector's loose, or they gotta have bunches of wires together on most of these connectors, and maybe one is just pulled out and the others are fine. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a car guy. I've never really been a car guy. I can change a tire, I can change oil, I can change a spark plug, I know how to run codes. I can fill the liquids, I can change the cabin filter. But that's pretty much all my mechanical knowledge. Oh, I changed a belt. The engine, the belt that goes on the engine, the alternator belt, I don't know what it's called, but I changed that too one time. But like, I'm not the guy that's, pulling apart a car and, with a ratchet and the screwdriver replacing everything. I've never really been into like many car brands either. I buy Toyotas just because they're the most reliable, and I don't really care about luxury. If I won the lottery, I probably would just get a nicer, newer Toyota. I don't even think I would go to a Lexus. I don't like the Lexus logo, like the weird shaped L in the circle. It looks weird to me. I think like if I was to win the lottery, I would get like a Toyota Supra or something. If I even went that route, which I probably wouldn't. That's like if I won the lottery and had an epiphany to become flashy, which I seem highly unlikely at this point in my life, even if I was to get a bunch of money. I'll always am the guy that kind of dresses down, because I'm not living check to check right now. I'm living pretty close to it, and I don't want to mess up my savings. Like, I'm not established in any degree, but I have enough money where I can be buying, like, fancier clothes, like, but I'm just kind of buying, like, these t-shirts in, like, packs, and, like, the cheapest, just generic white t-shirts, and I'm always kind of trying to save money and dress down, and like, even if I have money, I'm not going to spend it. So I can't see myself, even if I won the lottery, to suddenly become a car guy and have my personality change. I just view a car as a tool to get from one place to another. And logically, a Toyota is going to be the most reliable to do that. So that's what I get. And this headlight thing has really been bothering me. The lady at the auto body shop really didn't like me. I don't know why, but she kept trying to like kind of make fun of my car and kind of get a win over me. And I think she thought I was like really destitute or untrustworthy or something, because the guy, the technician, like turned the car on to test the lights before I like signed off on it, and like she ran and like yanked the key out of the ignition and like almost yelled at him like he hasn't paid yet, like I was gonna, jump in the car and drive away without paying the deductible with the insurance or whatever. Like, a very weird lady. And I think I've talked about her on like my previous Ramble or even my other channel, but like she really hated me. Like her whole being and her whole energy was against me. It almost, like if she was in like political power, she would send me to like a firing line to be executed for no reason. Like that's literally the energy she was giving me. Like she hated me. I could tell right away she hated me. And I don't know why. Like I've never been hated that irrationally by anyone really before. Like there was a drunk guy downtown a week ago who was trying to start a fight with me, but that was just a drunk guy that was staring people down. So I mean, like that's almost rational because you expect that behavior from a drunk person. And like I've had like little, beefs and grudges and office politics before at like a micro level, but like I can't remember off the top of my head, like even like weeks or years going back, like somebody that I just met, like fresh, new, like first impression, like they just hated me. Like I can't remember a time other than this lady that's actually happened, and it was really, really bizarre. And I don't know what it was. She was quite busy, so I mean, she's maybe crashing out a little bit. Maybe she's in a position that she can't fully handle and needs to downgrade her job. I don't know, but I think she found me repulsive, and I mean, I'm getting older and I haven't really achieved a lot. Like I don't have like a house and a family, so it could have been that as well, that she just saw me as like a pushover that she could punch down onto. But yeah, she really didn't like me, and she was very paranoid about me even being there. Like I was like some kind of like criminal or something. It was really odd, and that in turn makes me paranoid about her, because now I have to go back to that same shop, because I'm not gonna pay another shop, $1,000 or something to fix this, when that's the reason I went there to begin with, and like I have the guarantee or whatever. But now like I'm paranoid, like what is she gonna try to pull on me? Like she kept trying to like get these wins on me. She was like really, really rude, but she was also like, I don't know, she kept trying to like get me to kiss her ass too for no reason. It was really weird, but I can't think of concrete examples, which makes me look bad. But the key thing was an example, and just kind of her making fun of the car and saying that like she has a real car type thing, and it was just very persistent, like insults over and over and over again. It kind of was just a bit off-putting. But yeah, anyway. anyways, I've been learning how to skateboard, and I feel like a jackass. And like that Steve Buscemi meme where he says, "Hello, fellow kids," and he has a skateboard on his shoulder. I feel like that every time that I do it, because people are like asking me to kickflip, which is pretty normal. Like when people see like a skateboarder go by, it's kind of like almost like a given. Some people are gonna say do a kickflip, like it's, you get it like 20 times a day when you're out with a skateboard. And I don't know how to do one, and I'm sure some of them might know that I don't know how to do it or could be understanding that, but I think a lot, and most, are just assuming I can do one. Like I'm an older guy and must be skateboarding for years, and like I'm like a month in, so it makes me feel like a jackass. Kind of makes me feel lost in life too. Like I should have like a kid, but I have like a skateboard. So I mean, like that's not ideal, but it's definitely a learning curve. It's something to focus your mind into. It's something that's somewhat a positive. Like it's not like fentanyl. It's not, sitting around just being lazy. It's something to attempt to learn. It's a skill. It's hard. It's quite hard, actually. I so far only know how to do an ollie, really, that I can reliably do again and again. I get maybe 80% of the ollies that I do, and then I can do a switch in somewhat of a manual. I tried kickflips and pop shove-its today. Those are the two that I'm working on, and those are the two that I really feel like I need to know. I think even like just not moving, just a static, have a kickflip, I feel like would make me feel less like a poser and have something to actually show. And then the pop shove it, usually people say that you learn that first to help you along the way. And I couldn't land either today. I came a bit closer than I did last week, which is, the name of the game. But still nowhere even close to what it would look like if done properly. And when it does come close to being right, like I've done kickflips at this point where it was almost right. I don't know the difference of like when I'm getting warmer or colder, like when I'm getting closer to doing it right to when I'm getting further away and doing it more wrong. Like I don't know the difference. I don't know the fine details of what I did better this time or worse that time. Like I don't know the difference. I'm just kind of winging it. And I'm watching skate videos online, but it's not really helping. It's something that through repetition and years I think you have to get better at, and I don't think there's any way to kind of expedite and speed it up. I think it just has to be done over and over again for like a year, 2 years. And realistically, like I don't have time to be even doing this. I need to really figure my life out and have like a better job or something. But I'm still kind of in a second childhood or some kind of fog and monkeying around with a skateboard. I feel like I'm kind of in like a purgatory state in my life where I'm just treading water not to sink. I'm not really growing as a person, but I'm not getting worse. I'm not getting more bitter. I'm not getting more sick. I'm not getting necessarily weaker. I'm getting older, so weaker will eventually happen, but I'm just not growing. I'm stagnating. And I think that's most people in my demographic right now. Except the ones that obviously had earlier successes and started a family, which is still, it's still might even be the majority. I'm not sure what the exact statistics are, but I've had a lot of friends that have died from drugs and suicide, so probably somewhere in the middle of the pack. But it's getting harder to tread the water and find interests and reasons to keep trucking forward, which I still have to do, obviously. Everyone has to truck forward, make the best of what you can, and find the silver lining of life, and find your people, your flock, and just surround yourself with the best people you can. And I'm at an MMA gym. I can only go once a week because it's at the classes at night class in the evening, and I work nights. I'm mostly a janitor, so it only works out that I can go once a week, but I'm starting to get acquaintances and friends through that. And I'm not a doomer, but I am in like a stagnated point, but I do see potential areas where I can grow and that things can go right. So I can start focusing on bigger things, and I do have some optimism. I have a lot of pessimism too, and I think I have pessimism towards like economic and geopolitical type stuff. I think I'm a pessimist on most of that, but spiritually, I think to learn from past mistakes and to grow as a person and accept my past faults and make peace with them and move on and perhaps go to heaven if I do the right things in life. I'm going to church tomorrow. I've kind of, as I've gotten older, I've gotten more involved in religion and spirituality. I'm kind of asking questions about it now. I have a lunch or something when my uncle comes to town next month or a month after. I'm going to start asking him about some, as he's somewhat religious, some of his beliefs, and I think that might be kind of where I find my meaning, because I think just the way like the secular kind of government and society we have hasn't really grown me, caused as much growth spiritually and as a person as I'd like. I'm always kind of in my head. I'm a person who overanalyzes a lot. I'm an introvert. I'm quite shy a lot of the time, and I look for a deeper meaning in everything. I always kind of try to find symbolism behind things. I try to find ways that I can justify my actions, good or bad. Just things that I can try to figure out on my own and try to make like a journey and find meaning to it all, because I can't really find a meaning in only going after, fancy cars, and I can't find a meaning in chasing women. I can't find a meaning in doing drugs. I can't find a meaning in work either. Like, I can't find, like, you go on the kind of the more liberal, socially liberal type things like raves or whatever. I can't find meaning there, but you go more conservative and into work ethic will find you meaning. And I work these kind of dead-end jobs, and I'm sweating and I'm getting tired, and I'm working these jobs and I can't find meaning there either. I don't feel seen or heard in those roles. So I'm kind of just spinning my wheels. I'm not really getting anywhere, but I'm staying afloat. I'm staying on my feet, but I'm not really getting anywhere with anything. And I'm not sure if the goal to life is to be happy. I'm not really sure. I'm quite confused. I'm quite lost, and I'd like to be closer with my family, but sometimes when I'm with my family, it's almost like talking past each other. And there's something about, just being an uncle and then having your siblings married and your mom, getting older. And it's almost like you're clinging to the past and you're the one that's not developing, and it's obvious, and they're at a different life stage than you, and you need to go out and start your own family and things like that, but I can't see that happening, and I'm not even sure if I want that to happen. I've seen the negatives of families, and families deteriorate, and I don't know why I'm kind of glooming on this right now, but these are my thoughts. It's my channel, it's my thoughts, but I'll go to church tomorrow. The last week in church was quite good, actually. I completely forgot what it was about because virtually every day I forget after it's over, and it just all blends into one. But I remember that it was good, and I remember it was on point, and I remember that I should go back to tomorrow, which I'm gonna do. I met an older guy named Ed, and he said that if he could go back in time, he'd pick up a trade. He was caught up working as a mailman, and he said that he was working 60 hours a week to make life work, delivering mail, but he also said that he had a family and probably, I would assume, a house, so he had to make it work at the wages that he was getting paid, so he had to work more. For me, if I don't have those things, or if I have no means of even getting those things, I wouldn't need to work those hours. But his advice about the trades, I'm not sure about that either. I've thought about it, and I've emailed and I've called and I've talked to people, and a lot of these shops are actually closing up and they're moving. All the fabrication welding shops are going out of business. The lumber yards I've applied to have went out of business. There's no real unions here. I'd have to go to a bigger city, and then bigger cities are more expensive, and there's no real guaranteed seat, and then you're going to be working really long hours to something that you might not even want to do, and you start as a laborer. It's a big risk. And I'm at the point where my body is actually starting to ache a little bit, so it's probably too late on that. Sales would probably be better, but there's a bottleneck and there's a competition, and it's all word of mouth for everything. So that's kind of how I got up and stuck in janitorial. I never really was an interesting person to build a social circle and to be referenced and given opportunities like that. And I did drop out of high school when I was young. I was kind of an angry child, and I kind of screwed that up. I did get my GED. I went back for that, but it is what it is. I cleaned my tarantula enclosure. I've had a tarantula for 17 years. It's lived that long. 17 years. It's actually kind of cute. It's grown on me over the years. When I first bought it, I was a teenager and I was just trying to be edgy or cool and freak out my mom or something. And then I kind of just set it and forget it. You only have to feed it a cricket once a month. And even like further apart than that, like even once every 3 months. Like they don't eat anything basically. The species of tarantula I have is known for long fasting periods, and they also molt. They shed their skin like a snake does, and before it does that, like it doesn't eat for like 4 months. So it's actually easier to maintain than a house plant. It's bizarre. And the females live for like 20 years and the males live for like 2 years or something. So I have a female, which I always kind of knew. I had a feeling when I first got it that it was a female. Like I didn't know that, like, how to identify it. I just knew that it was a female spider when I bought it. It was just kind of like a delusion or a coin flip lucky guess, but it turned out to be true. Like I knew, like in my heart when I bought it, that there was a female spider. Like I just took a guess, I stuck with it, and 16, 17 years later, I'm right, because a male tarantula doesn't live that long. It's impossible. The females live long like that. So it's currently just chilling, and it's weird. Like I gave the first half of the story. Like when I first got it, I was trying to be edgy, like freak out my mom that I have like a poisonous tarantula or something. And then for like the next few years, I just set it, forget it, like a house plant, and I didn't really care about it. And that went on for a long time. And I don't really handle it. I have a glove that I can use to pick it up with, but I don't really care to handle it too much. I don't want to squish it, I don't want to freak it out, I don't want to cause it stress, and I don't want to cause me stress, because it is venomous, and the fangs are actually quite big. It would be like getting stabbed. It wouldn't send me to the hospital, but it would be, I would imagine, 10 times worse than a wasp, and a wasp is still something you don't want to get stung by. So I leave it in there, but I was looking at it today after I cleaned its enclosure, and I was really proud that I cleaned its enclosure, because I had it on a to-do list forever, and I never really got around to it, because I bought the coconut fiber that it goes on the bottom of like the aquarium, and I had it in the living room just kind of sitting there for like almost like a year, and I never got around to it, and I got around to it either yesterday or the day before, and I don't know if it's happier or not, but I'd be happy if I was in there. And I was kind of thinking about that earlier. Is a tarantula in like, you think about like animals in a zoo or an enclosure, and they would be like miserable. But I think a tarantula would be one of the only species that would be happier or better in an enclosure, because tarantulas don't move a lot. They're pretty static. Like, at least this species, this particular subspecies of tarantula, they're pretty static, and they wait for the cricket or the insect to come to them, and then they pounce on it. Like, they're not exploring through like acreages. They're just kind of like just sitting there and not doing too much. So basically what the enclosure does is it lets it live its natural life without the threat of predators. I don't know what exactly eats tarantulas, if it's birds or if it's, some kind of like honey badger, or I don't know exactly what its natural predators would be that prey on it in Chile or wherever it's from. Maybe a monkey or something, I have no idea. But even outside of predators, like, it could get stepped on by an animal, or something could kill it. It could fall into like a river and drown. Like, it has no risk, and it lives basically the same it would live out there. So I think it's probably the only creature that can really have only positives from living in an enclosure. It's almost like the perfect pet. It just chills. It's very cool. And like, I have house plants that die because I forget to water them. And I've had this for like 17 years, no problem. So it's pretty cool. I've had dogs too, and I take care of my dogs, but it would be impossible for me to neglect a dog because they become like my son, and I just take them everywhere that I go, and like I give them food off my plate. I give them like their kibble too, but like if I'm eating a steak, like I'll give them like the gristle, and everywhere that I go is pretty much outdoor stuff. Like I'm a hiker, and I go to the beach, and there's a dog beach here, and we drive around, and like it was just like driving around your kid or your friend or whatever. Like the dog is the best pet for sure. Like man's best friend is not just a trope, it's not just a saying, it's a reality. Like the dog evolved around humans. They were originally domesticated wolves that became a dog. Like we directly molded that species of canine into what they are. Like they are actually designed to be our friends. Like they're the original AI, like superior to AI. AI is garbage. Horses too, cats too, but the original is the dog, and the original is always the best. There's no sequel, no remakes that can beat the original. I'm a dog guy, I'm not a cat guy. I've grown to tolerate cats. At first, cats disgusted me because they basically act like narcissists, psychopaths, and they shit in your house. And I read somewhere online that the litter box that cats have airborne bacteria that can cause problems with like your mental health, even in some cases. And I'm a very germ-phobic guy. I have OCD. I don't like any turds in the house. I don't like hairballs. I don't like that they kind of think that they're the boss. I don't want a pet that looks down on me. I don't. So I'm not a cat guy. There's no real benefit to having a cat either, too, because you can't take a cat on a hike the same way you can take a dog on a hike. I've seen like an old lady sometimes around my neighborhood walking a cat on a leash. Like, you just look like a schizophrenic if you're doing something like that. And I'm not trying to be, against schizophrenics. I think I might be a little bit on the paranoid side myself, and I have compassion for people that go through that kind of thing, but I'm just a dog guy, and I've really grown to like my tarantula in the last even few weeks more than ever. I've just been looking at it more, and probably the reason for that in part is because it's 17 or so, and they live to about 20, so I know that, it's getting up there, and I won't have it forever, so I'm kind of appreciating it more now, and I'm kind of looking at it more now, and just trying to enjoy its presence a bit more than I have in the past. So, that's kind of my day. There's some doom and gloom in there, but there's some positives in there. I think I'm going to wrap this video up in a couple minutes, just with some well wishes. It's a long video, like it's over half an hour long, so that would probably have a better chance of somebody falling asleep to it if they made it halfway through. If not, that's fine. I don't know how exactly the algo works on ASMR videos, but I know retention is good, so I don't really know how to retain people on these videos because I'm just kind of being myself, and I'm kind of just talking what's on my mind. I'm getting like almost a skill for like turning the filter off in my brain during these ASMR talks, and I'm just kind of just saying whatever pops into my head without even thinking, which can be a negative if I'm saying crazy things or thinking crazy things, but I think I thankfully am thinking normal thoughts, and I'm not actually like a lunatic that some people might think that I am, because I'm always kind of doing my own thing. I'm not really part of a social group. It's hard to make friends, and especially when you're getting older. But yeah, I had a good day. I was skateboarding, getting frustrated, but it was nice. It was nice to get out, saw some people, just to be around other people and to try a skill and figure something out. But at the same time, I'm kind of in the back of my head panicking, like I can't enjoy anything when I'm doing it, because I feel like I need to be grinding and making money so I don't starve whenever this global depression comes. And I don't know if I'm being super paranoid because of doom scrolling and being online too much, looking at the news, or if it's actually going to happen and I'm being too idle and lazy. But I think it's a mix of both, really. Like, I think everyone can be doing more, and I think we are heading for a recession or a depression. But then at the same time, I need to be able to turn off my brain and find some sort of hobby and something meditative where I can just be and live. And I think, skateboarding can be that potentially, but it's also quite frustrating, and I feel like some kind of old poser when I'm doing it, so it kind of adds to my overthinking sometimes. But that's generally my day and my week. My mom's birthday is soon. I have to get a card or some kind of gift. So I'll do that pretty soon. I was gonna do a customized card, but it's not gonna get here on time. That ship's sailed. I meant to do that last month. Get like a Walmart Photoshop card. I used AI on the Christmas one, and it was me and my sisters, and we were kind of photoshopped into wacky situations. Like, one of my sisters was riding a horse, and we were all wearing I had like a Santa hat, and they had like elf's hats or something. Like, it was just stupid. But my mom liked it, and one of my sisters really liked it. She liked it more than my mom did, and wants one herself. And then the other one didn't like it at all, and kind of hated it, and thought that it seemed like she thought I was like weird putting her picture on something, like it was like a violation or something. Like, my sisters are both complete opposites, a 180 of each other on everything when it comes to just how they talk to people, their taste in music, their jobs, where they want to be in life, their politics, the way they see the world. I don't believe in left, right anymore, but one's one way, the other's the other way. It's kind of, I don't like feeding that trope, because I think left and right is a psyop, but one is conservative, one isn't, is what I'm saying. But yeah, that's just kind of the family dynamic. Is I think I'm somewhere in between the two, at least socially. One's very socially conservative, one's very socially liberal, and I'm kind of in between. Sometimes I'll see someone who's further into the socially liberal, and I'll be like, blah. And then the other way, too far socially conservative, I'm like, blah. But then I find that, like, if you're neither, and you're like a fence sitter is the new term, people find you bland and boring, and you don't really have any opinions or anything. So I think I'm blah too. So I think you're gonna be blah to somebody, and no matter what you do. But God bless everybody. Thanks for watching. This is 40 minutes long. This is the longest ASMR video I've ever done. It has to be. I don't think I've done one on this channel or my previous channel that got demonetized. And I don't like doing them this long, because when you get 5-minute retention on on 40 minutes, it sinks the channel. But if you do like 10 minutes and you get 5 minutes, then it's 50% retention, and then your videos get lifted up. But I'm going to let it run. I'm not going to cut this up, even though there is some parts in here that I probably shouldn't have said or probably were boring to people. But that's kind of the paradox of ASMR, is you want it to be boring at the same time, because it's usually used for people to fall asleep. That's kind of the point of ASMR, is it's supposed to be kind of non-combative, just kind of neutral, and just kind of rambling on so people can just turn their brain off and fall asleep. But if it gets like too depressing or too political or something, people will, wake up and turn it off because they don't want to feel like they're getting, programmed with a bunch of nonsense they don't agree with or whatever. At least that's what happens with me. Like if somebody just starts, saying something that's too hyper political, or if it's too one way or the other, I don't want to fall asleep thinking about putting other people's opinions in my head too much. But anyways, this is my video. I almost don't want to stop and I want to keep talking, which is weird. I'm in a very extroverted, kind of chatty mood right now. And it's Saturday night, so I probably should be out, somewhere talking to people. But I mean, I don't really know where to go to do that. Like, there's no real scene here to do that. Like, this isn't a large city where you can just kind of go table hop and kind of just make friends instantly at, like, but hopefully that car thing gets solved. That's on my mind. That's the biggest stress right now for me, is this car thing. And it's so disappointing that they didn't fix it right the first time. It's absurdly disappointing. It's disgusting, actually. I think the light's actually further dead than it was when I first started this fix the car journey. And it was really the only thing that I really cared about, because the smacked in bumper was like, who cares? Like, I can still drive it. It's still clipped on. It's not going to fall off. The horn was like, okay, that's a safety feature. I need to get that fixed. And then the light was the biggest thing. The biggest issue with me, because I can't go out of town. I can't drive at night. So it's like not even having a car. It's like having a car for a few hours a day. Like, I guess it's summer now, so like most of the day. So at least it's in the right season that this happened. But still, it's the biggest issue I had was to get the light fixed. The rest I would have just lived with. And it's the one thing they didn't fix. It's like the one thing I went for to get fixed that they didn't fix, so it was really annoying. Leave a comment if you made it to the end, if you could. It'll help. Now I'll go and help me know if people are watching. I guess I can check the YouTube studio anyways, but yeah, I'm gonna peace out and go to sleep myself now. It's getting late and I don't really want to go out. I went out a little bit yesterday, Friday night. Not to clubs or anything, but I was doing some skateboarding downtown, and I'm not gonna do it again tonight. I'm not feeling energetic. I'm feeling more like a homebody right now, and I'm gonna go to bed. So, church tomorrow. Hopefully I wake up at a decent time, not too late, not too early. I don't set my alarm on Actually, I don't set my alarm, period, because I work nights even on days that I do work, but certainly not on my days off. Church, they run 2 services. One starts at like 9 and then another at 10:30. I go to the 10:30 one. I wake up usually around 9. So hopefully I'll aim for that and go to that. If I miss it, I miss it. I mean, it's not It's not going to be the end of the world, but I do think that I should go, but it's usually a senior crowd anyways. It's not really socializing with people my age, but we'll see what happens. So God bless everybody, and thanks for checking out my video. This was one of the longer ones. I don't know what I'm going to title it, but I talked about a lot, so thanks. Hello everybody, it is me again, going to do a ramble video, talking about my day, basically whatever pops into my head. I'm not really going to rush to say anything. I'm just gonna kind of shoot from the hip. I had a pretty crazy day today. I went to the dentist, which isn't actually that crazy, but necessary, although maybe not that necessary, because I've never had a cavity and it was just a cleaning, so checkup / cleaning, so it wasn't that important, but it was actually over really quick. I'm surprised. I've been flossing and brushing a lot more than I ever really have in my life over the last year, so that's probably why it was pretty quick. But also, the lady that was doing the cleaning, the hygienist, was very efficient and very good at her job. Last year I went, and the hygienist was almost like a dark energy type lady that was just maybe having a bad day, but she was giving me really bad vibes, and she was really bossy, and she was saying that she hates her job, and she gave her 2 weeks notice, and then she was gonna put like sharp objects in my mouth to file my teeth, like the black off of my teeth. It's like I just gave my 2 weeks notice, and then she like jabs me with like this hook instrument around my gums. It's like, okay, this, like, what did I get into here? You're basically stuck there. You're in the chair, and she's going at it, talking about how much she hates her job and how she's depressed, and she's like I get it. Like, there's days that I'm the same way at work, and maybe I'll talk about that later in this video, but you don't want somebody scraping your teeth when they're talking like that. It's basically like having an Uber driver or a bus driver that's like suicidal or something. It's like you don't want to hear that shit when you're there, right? But like she was saying, like, she wanted to get into real estate, and that like her kids are grown now and she's doing like a career change or something. Like, she's probably a nice lady, but she came across as a very unnice lady. But this lady was the opposite of that. She was very professional. She was gentle. She was very happy. She liked her job. Good vibes. Really short. She was like 4'10" or like 4'9" even. Like, she was almost like comically short. But yeah, nice lady. And it was a different dentist that did the checkup, because others on holiday or something, but he was actually better than my regular dentist. Like, he seemed like he knew what he was doing, and I don't have any problems, and it was just a routine cleaning, and I kind of like going to the dentist. It's a bit of a hassle to do it, and it's obviously an out-of-pocket expense, and it's not like going to like Mexico or like, you know, on a cruise or a vacation or something. But I mean, it gets me out. It's healthy. I mean, you want to make sure that your gums are healthy and stuff, so it's a weird thing that I enjoy maybe. But I remember when I was like a really small kid, I thought that maybe I could be a dentist one day, and it never worked out that way, because I didn't do very well in school. But some serious money. I didn't even really know that. Like, they make more than doctors. They make more than even a lot of specialist surgeons and stuff like that, because they're running their own business a lot of the time, and even when they're not and they're working for someone else's business, it's a very specialized trade, or profession. So anyways, that was the first little bit of my day. Like, today was my day off, and I had the dentist appointment booked, so I kind of had a slow start. Spring has sprung, as they say. It's finally getting sunnier and not as cold, and it's good. I got out and I actually did a bit of skateboarding today, and I have another video where I'm kind of talking about skateboarding a little bit coming out on the weekend. I filmed it last weekend, but it doesn't really have to be in order. It's still new. I haven't released it yet, but yeah, I've kind of got into skateboarding, like, almost comically old. Like, I skateboarded a little bit in middle school, but it really stressed me out and I sucked at it. And I had this really cheap Walmart skateboard that didn't really have good wheels or bearings, and I think, like, I don't want to say that it was the skateboard's fault, because there's, like, people that do amazing work with really bad tools, but you really need a quality tool, I think. And, like, I had a bad skateboard, and I was kind of, unathletic as a kid, and so I wasn't really good at it. Not saying that you really need to be, like, an athlete to do it, but I got, like, one of those short boogie board, like, almost like kid-sized longboards when I was, like, 29, and I did that for a little bit, and then I got another, like, an actual traditional, like, skateboard really recently, and I've been kind of doing that for the last, like, maybe, like, once a week for, like, the past month. And that's kind of really the brunt of it. Like, I'm actually, like, using it for transportation, and I've never really done that. I kind of only fooled around on skateboards when I was a kid, type thing. Like, I got on the skateboard, like, I left my place, I got on it, and, like, after a while, like, I looked around and I was somewhere else, and I was like, holy shit, I actually traveled on this thing. Like, I'm not anywhere even close to my place now. Like, this is a miracle. It's almost like I have this new magical item that's almost like a bicycle, but not really. So that was that, and it was pretty cool. I was listening to a podcast, an Andrew Huberman podcast. If you don't know him, check him out. He's Stanford, some kind of scientist, and he's a professor. And he basically talks bro science stuff about working out and, like, what hair treatments so your hair doesn't fall out, male pattern baldness, and he gets, like, guests on that kind of are in, like, the cold immersion things and longevity things and, healthy eating and stuff like that. Kind of like a literal bro scientist, because he actually has a degree, but he doesn't really talk about his field on his podcast that much. But so I was listening to his podcast on fluoride because I was kind of curious about that, because I just went to the dentist and they put it on my teeth, and I kind of have been not using fluoride toothpaste for the last little bit, and at first I thought, like, I was crazy, like I was some kind of, like, conspiracy theorist, but, like, I see no need to use it, because my teeth have always been healthy. I've never had a cavity. I don't view it as necessary, so I'm not really using it anymore, and I haven't noticed anything bad about not using it. text from my job, the middle manager there. He's texting like these group chats. He's new. The old manager either quit or got fired. I don't know which it was. It was really abrupt, and he wasn't there anymore for like a month before they hired someone else. So I think he either got fired or rage quit, and I think if he rage quit, he was probably getting pushed out. And then there was another guy recently that got replaced. So I think the lady that's in charge above the middle management is pushed him out, and then the new manager pushed the other guy out already. So they're basically doing like a culture change, and they're basically firing people that I guess she doesn't like. I guess she's pulling the trigger on people, and I think I'm probably going to be next. I've been there for like 6 years, and pretty much everyone's turned over. And I'm working with much different people now, and it seems like I don't fit as well with this group as I did with the group that I was hired with, and they're not treating me the best, and it's becoming a toxic workplace. And it kind of was for a little bit before the change, but it's been definitely accelerating. And the job market here is definitely not a worker's job market, it's an employer's job market. There's actually more people than there are jobs, and they're really looking for people that kind of brown nose and make them feel like giants rather than do a job. I think right now, like if you're in like a solid trade and you're working 50 hours or more a week, or if you're like in a university degree profession like an engineer or a doctor or something, then obviously you're going to get a lot less of that. And God bless them if that's you or whatever. But if you're not in a position that has a long apprenticeship or a degree that's necessary, it becomes less about what you're providing the company and what your work ethic is or your capabilities are, and it becomes more like a popularity contest. And if they like you, if they view you as a cultural fit or whatever, and basically how much you can play office politics and kiss people's asses. And it seems like the deck is slowly getting stacked against me, and I'm not really sure what I would be able to do at this point if I get fired from that. Like, I might have to, like, say that it's wrongful firing and try to get severance or something. But even beyond that, like, I don't have a degree and I don't have a trade, so it's becoming more and more competitive. Even like jobs that are manual labor jobs, and I have a security license, but I don't like doing security simply because the security industry is full of like really weird people, like the Paul Blart Mall Cop, or like that Seth Rogen movie where he's the mall cop. It's basically the same movie, but one's PG-13 and one's R or whatever. But like, you get this really weird personality type in security where it's basically stereotypically, like, a lot of the time it's just kids that got shoved into lockers and they want some sort of power trip. And instead of getting like an actual job that's productive, to be brutally honest about it, and I'm sorry if you're a security guard, like I've worked in the industry and I have my license, but it really seems to be like a almost bullying, but at the same time like beta male type atmosphere that's really cringe, to be honest. And where I'm living, they're basically like herding homeless people around, and they're like bragging that they can wrestle a cherry pie out of a starving woman's hands or something, and it seems really goofy to me, and I don't mean to virtue signal. I know that I kind of am, but I did that job for like I want to say 4 years, but it's probably 2.5 or 3, more than, yeah, probably 3 years. 3 years or so, yeah. And then I tried a second time for like recently concert security as a side gig, but I couldn't make the shifts. And I thought that would be a different environment, but it's the same type of people. Like even at like a security venue, like for concerts, it's the same like people that, you know, basically weren't good enough to be on the police force. And it's like, I don't know, I guess if you're in that industry for so long, you gotta slowly become that. You gotta mold to like what you're in, and to like basically just be that kind of mall cop, like whatever archetype, to like kind of grind at being that till you get up to like a middle management position at like a security job. It's like all the jobs that I can get right now, like the star on the Christmas tree of these jobs is like to be middle manager, and it's something that I don't even want. Like I was at the job that I am now, I was with the previous middle manager. I was basically the shift leader, and he was always, you know, giving me extra things to do and like trying to guide the new hires and train the new hires and tell them what to do. And it's like, I did train them, and I did, you know, make them feel comfortable, and, you know, I'm not dragging my feet. I'm not saying that I'm a bad employee, but I never wanted to be like, you do this, you do that. I never wanted to be on the side of like, you know, the people that are, you know, cracking the whip or whatever the metaphor is. I never wanted to be that, and that's kind of the only way to make a livable wage in these unticketed non-trade jobs, is to become like a middle manager and just to be like that kind of stereotypically miserable guy. And the new middle manager that I have now is like the most miserable person I've ever seen at all. Like he left work, and then he came in, because I work nights in the building. He left work, and then he came in like 2 hours later to like surprise me and see what I was doing. And it's like, holy shit, like this guy has zero life at all, and he's like 50 years old, and it's maybe not 50, maybe like 48 or something, and he's just this little guy, and it's like, holy fuck, this is your life. And it's, I don't know if it's systemic or if it's just his personality type, but it's just, he's a little weirdo, and I don't respect him, and I can't fake it, and he's obviously picked up on that, and he doesn't like it. But I mean, it is what it is. Like, he's just a little weirdo, and I don't like him, and I'm doing my job well, so it's kind of just, it is what it is. It's one of those things. If I get pushed out, I'll be unemployed for a little bit, and then hopefully find something else that's brutally honest, like not a fulfilling career. Like, I've never really been able to lock in to something, and that's my own fault, you know. But I'm saying a lot right now, but I don't know if this is relaxing or will make anyone fall asleep, but it's definitely real talk. It's not a role play. It's not fake. It's not, you know, it's not even positive affirmations. It's almost negative affirmations, and I kind of gotta watch that. But yeah, it's about my life and my day, and that's kind of where I'm at with work. But Yeah, so I did the work thing. Well, not today because I had the dentist, but I did the dentist. I did the skateboarding. I listened to a couple podcasts, like I said, about fluoride. And I texted my sister. She actually texted me, which was nice because usually I'm the one that texts her. But always annoying my sister, sending them like memes and reels on Instagram. I have probably like a thread of like, I don't know, it's like 12 reels at a time that I send them, and like I don't think they even watch them. I think if I'm lucky, they'll watch one out of the 12. And some of the reels are like actually like the meme itself is pointing out, I know you're not watching these, and we laugh about it, but like me and my sisters are relatively close. I'm much closer to the middle child. I'm the youngest now, but it was the oldest sister that I was always trying to be closest to when I was a kid, but she was always much older. She's like 8 years older. She was like in graduating high school when I was in elementary school, and I was always trying to hang out with the big kids and be cool, but she was always too busy. And she moved to another city and all that, so they both have kids. I'm an uncle, so they're busy with that too, but I bug them with the Instagram reels, and yeah, she texted me that she's back into running, and she sent me her like on her iPhone snapshot or whatever her miles. She ran, I think it was like 8K or something today, and heart rate was like at 160, and I said that's good. Like, we're both gym people. I do mainly powerlifting and like martial arts, not running, but we did do some sprinting and some track work. Me and my sister last spring or last summer we did. Actually, no, it was towards the end of summer, more towards the fall. We did maybe like 4 or 5 sessions of running around the track, and it was good. I always like seeing my sister. I had a bit of a rough childhood when I was growing up, and me and my sisters didn't get along, and my parents didn't get along. No one really got along, but we've all kind of grown up and got along now, which is great. So I mean, it's really good. It's a blessing to have family, and to have siblings is really good. It would be nice to have a brother too. It didn't work out that way, but it is what it is. I had 2 dogs. They were kind of like, I wouldn't say brothers, but I mean, I was very close to my dogs. The name of this channel rather is Doberman Honcho. I had 2 Dobermans. They both passed away, but I grew up with dogs, and I really like dogs quite a bit. Never been a cat person, but I don't hate cats or think cat people are weird, and I don't really do the dog person, cat person thing. Like, I mean, maybe a little bit, but I understand, like, it's more convenient to have a cat. You don't need to spend as much time or walks or exercise or socialization with a cat as you do with a dog. So people with a busier schedule, obviously, a cat is going to be much easier. I have an uncle who works like stupid hours. He works like 80 hours a week. And when he's not working, he's doing other things. He's going fishing, and he's doing all kinds of things. Fishing, you could definitely take a lab with you or a dog with you, but he's always had cats, and I think he would like a dog, but I guess not. He's a cat person, which is I always kind of found that odd about him. Maybe it's an allergy or something, but yeah, I find it weird that he doesn't have a dog, actually. It's almost suspect now that I'm thinking about it. It's very peculiar that he doesn't have a dog. I'm now suspicious of him. Only half serious with that, but yeah, that is kind of weird that he doesn't have a dog. I guess I've changed my mind on the dog cat person thing that I just proclaimed a minute ago. Yeah, my mom wasn't a dog person either. She had cats. And then I have a sister that's not really into either. And then my other sister kind of likes dogs but doesn't want one. My dad had a dog, but he never really wanted dogs either. So I guess I'm actually the animal lover of the family, really. At least dog guy of the family. I don't have a dog right now. It feels weird, to be honest, not having a dog. I get to do more on my own. Like, I'm part of like a wrestling club now. Like, I do martial arts, and I'm like kind of doing the skateboarding thing a little bit now. Going to the gym. I have a job, obviously. For now, because I think they're actually literally gonna push me out, because I don't know what they're doing, but they're really playing mind games, and the crazy thing is I'm doing the job, so they either think that I'm not, or they know that I am doing the job and they just don't like me anyways. I don't know which it is, but it's effectively the same either way. But yeah, I like dogs. I have a dog calendar there. I have a picture of my dog there. I have a picture of my other dog there. I have my dog's ashes over there. I have my other dog's ashes over there. I have another picture of a dog there. I have a hole in the wall there that I punched and I had to re-putty it. I have a guitar over there that I don't play. I was learning how to play it, and then that is what resulted in me punching the hole in the wall. I have over there a punching bag thing. It's a speed bag that I should have punched instead, and then some other stuff. I have a bow staff. I don't know why I have a bow staff. But yeah, man, I feel like Napoleon Dynamite now that I have a bow staff in there. I don't even know why that's there. Why would I have that? What? I don't know. It's not literally a bow staff. It's like a big dowel, but I did take karate as a kid, so it might be that. Or it might be a piece of wood that I bought and then cut. I don't know, but it's like a 6-foot tall bow staff. And I have like the dog crate over there that I took apart. Yeah. Lots of stuff. I have my dog's toys still. Like, well, there's a soccer ball and then the dog version of a soccer ball. It's like tougher so they can't bite through it, but maybe that's the next chapter. Maybe if I get fired, I'll just get a dog and then just somehow magically win the lottery, and then I can just hang out with the dog. But anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. This is almost half an hour, man. This is like 28 minutes. I said a bunch of personal crap, I don't know. But I do these unedited. I just let them rip, and then if someone listens to it, they listen to it. If they fall asleep to it, they fall asleep to it. If they are relaxed by it, they're relaxed by it. But I mean, I might as well. I had an ASMR channel before. This is my second one. I still might transfer old videos onto this channel. I don't know. It makes sense to me to do that because I have like probably 100 ASMR videos on a hard drive somewhere. So I mean, like, if the people watching this could tolerate watching videos that they know is from, like 2 or 3 years ago, and that the events that I'm talking about in my vlog Ramble style ASMR aren't, current of this week, and people are fine with that, like, I can upload those and it works better for me because I can just mass upload them, and then the channel will build up faster probably if I, space it for the algorithm or whatever. But I think as far as like upload frequency on this channel, I'll probably do once a week. I think once a week will be the average going forward on here. I might go like once every other week, or I might do 2 in 1 week. I think this week is probably going to get 2. I might go a month without posting. I might go 1 week where I'm posting every day. I really don't know, but I think the average will pan out to be like once a week, something like that. Also depends on kind of what I'm doing in the summer. Like the summer, I want to be doing things in the sun, right? I don't know if I could really do an outdoor ASMR video. I do have a normal channel where I'm just talking normally, and if people are interested in kind of my vlog or like me or anything, like they can check that out. It's the same channel, like it's except you take ASMR out. I had some copyright issues and some violation issues on that channel recently, so it got demonetized, which isn't a big deal because it was only making like $90 every 2 months or something, but it got demonetized, and then I kind of took down a bunch of videos that I thought were overly personal, and I tried going with like music for a while. I was like making like AI music, and then I was like making my own beats, and like I was doing this kind of weird music thing. And I took those down too because the music that I made was trash, and then the AI music that I made was like okay, but it's like, so what? It's not you doing it. It's a prompt. So why would you even post like something that anyone could have made? Like, I don't understand the thrill of AI music. It's not real music. It's fake. It's prompted. So like I took that down too, and I just kind of left the nature videos up. I'm doing a vlog here and there on the shorts shelf of the channel, kind of comedic. Like I was kind of doing like a bit where I was pretending to live in my car, and then I was doing another bit where I was like talking about like eating mints for breakfast, and like it's kind of like low-key funny. I don't know if the people that are watching it think that I'm actually homeless, or if they are in on the joke, because a lot of the people on that channel have watched me crash out like 20 times and take down videos of me like crashing out, and just like overly personal videos about like me talking about my life, and then me saying, nah, I'm not gonna go that deep into my life, and then deleting them, but still have them on a hard drive somewhere. But anyways, I'll wrap this up pretty soon. We're at 32 and a half. I think I'm gonna wrap this up at 35. I think that's where I'm gonna go with it. I've been talking pretty fast in this video. I want to slow it down for my next video. But I always think if I slow it down too much, I'm gonna lose people's interests, and they're gonna like tune out if like I have like 20 seconds of silence in the video. And then if I do that, then I might have to edit it, and then I'm not really just doing these videos where I'm being myself. Then I'm kind of like editing and trying to make like a persona and cutting clips and stuff. I don't really want to be wasting too much time doing that either. So it's win-win to do these one-shot videos if people like it. But yeah, I think I covered a lot. I think I rambled a lot. I whispered a lot. This was basically a vlog ramble. I think this would serve the purpose of someone to fall asleep or to listen to, or whatever you guys are at. But anyways, I wish everyone the best. Stay safe out there. It's getting really competitive. It's getting a little bit more hostile out there, at least in my life that I've been noticing. So everyone stay safe, stay positive, spend time with loved ones. If you don't have loved ones, find some. I mean, what else can I say? Just, God bless. Thanks for checking out my channel. I wish everyone the best that's watching this. Spring is here. So, I mean, if you're having issues, spring is better to, spring is better than winter in my opinion, so at least we have that, right? But anyways, I really want it. I'm kind of stalling because I want this to be hit right 35. Okay, 10 seconds. Okay, thanks for watching my channel. God bless. Peace out. Bye. Hey everybody. Hope your day was good or is going well, depending on when you're watching this. If I cough or sneeze, excuse me at the time. I wasn't gonna do this video today just because the nature of my videos, I kind of ramble about my day usually, and for the past 4 days I've been homesick, so I don't have much to really ramble about. But depending on the pace of the video, that can work in my favor. And I wanted just to film something and keep the channel up and going, so I decided to do the video. I was laying in bed for a couple minutes and I actually got up, and here I am because I wasn't really ready to fall asleep yet. And I'm assuming this video is going to be used to help other people fall asleep. Personally, I haven't used ASMR to sleep in a long time. Last night I used Orthodox chants. I was listening to that. It actually helped me sleep. It helped me fall asleep, but it woke me up because it was on a loop still. That's kind of where I'm at with falling asleep to sounds and things playing on the phone, is if I can fall asleep to it and then it stops. Like if it's a shorter video is fine, but if it goes on for hours, it'll wake me up. Recently started a TikTok. I have 0 views, 0 likes, 0 subscribers, followers, whatever the word is for that platform. It's not ASMR, it's me talking normally, screwing around, making jokes about nonsense. I'll plug it when it's up and running a bit better. Currently I'm talking about Yakub a lot on there. If you don't know who Yakub is, he was an African scientist, if you believe in the legacy, the legend of him, who created all white people. And he is talked about by Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam in the United States of America. And it's kind of a humorous, to me, theory that white people were created to essentially be like this man's army of like basically orcs from like the Lord of the Rings is basically the folklore of it. So I've been calling myself DJ Yakub on like one of these comedy shorts, and I've been like hitting like sounds on what's it, FL Studio on Fruity Loops. It sounds like ass, and I'm like, DJ Yakub, back at it again. There's some other ones I was talking about, like tough on crime. Like every time I look on the news or on social media, it's like we gotta get tough on crime and, restore social order, and like all these like homeless drug users are getting out of hand and causing, businesses to leave, and they're, shitting on the sidewalk, or they're vandalizing or something. And I was like, well, tough on crime doesn't sound good to me, because what if I want to do those things? It's kind of like the joke of the video, which is actually like a joke, but it's also true. It's like, my God, like, I don't want to go to jail just for defecating on a sidewalk. Like, this is a free country. Give me a break. So anyways, made some other little, like, almost like Vines. I don't know if you guys remember Vines. It was like around like 2011. Vine was like an app that would help you make the YouTube shorts or something. And it had like a distinct logo, and I think it was its own app. I never used it. I was never into content creation back when it was in its, like, I don't know, it depends how you look at it, early days or golden era. Either way, it could probably be a case made for it. I made a little kind of shitty, like, parody rap videos here on YouTube on a different channel, and I deleted them since. But I'm getting back into, like, more creative content creation other than ASMR. ASMR is easy to do because you just kind of ramble on, and it's low effort and high engagement. But I wanted to do something more creative, and I don't know if I mentioned him on this channel before, but I never really followed his career that closely. I did know of him when he first dropped, like 8 years ago. Like, I watched his first video, maybe one or two since then, but like never was a fan, never was a follower. But he had his lane, he earned it. Oliver Tree recently died in a helicopter crash in Brazil, I believe, and kind of got me thinking, because I wanted to do a lot of the kind of similar stuff to what he was doing, just nonsense kind of shorts, like absurdist humor, and kind of, he had the whole niche, like, aesthetic of like a 90s kid with the bowl cut and the windbreaker, and you know, I fuck with it, I get it, it's, you know, it hits home. Like, I understand that. I remember there's this one kid, Daniel, he had a bowl cut just like Oliver Tree's. He didn't have the mullet in the back, it was like a complete mushroom, and he was like bleach blonde, like, and there's a couple kids like that, and it's pretty common, and the scooters are common too. It's a throwback, and it's kind of the joke of him being like 30 and still having the bowl cut in the scooter is kind of funny. But so I haven't been copying his niche or anything like that. I've been kind of doing my own thing and just kind of being myself, but trying to be a little bit more absurd and get a couple laughs on my other channel, which we'll see how it goes. And then keep this channel going too. So I have the two main channels, and then maybe the TikTok I'll just kind of upload like the shorts from my other channel onto the TikTok second hand. Like, after I post on YouTube, I could just download them, put them on there too. Sort of my plan. Somebody on here said to make these videos longer. I don't know about that tonight, because I don't have as much content in my head tonight, because I haven't really been out of bed for 4 days with this cold. It's almost better now, it's almost gone. But I kind of floated the idea of maybe doubling up the uploads, like with, like, take the videos and like make mashups, like just basically reposts, but just double them up so they're longer. So like, I could take 2 20-minute videos, make them 40 minutes, you know, etc., etc. I could even do, like, I could just merge all of the videos that I've done already into like one, like, 2-hour video or hour video, or how it'd be probably 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours video, and then see if people want that long. But I mean, we'll just see how it goes. I want to do different lengths. I'm kind of just shooting from the hip right now, seeing like what's on my mind, and then not really concerning about, you know, aiming to a certain time limit. I like to keep kind of like an even number, like either 10 or 15 or 20, 25, like, you know, with intervals of 5 minutes or whatever. But like, I don't set like a goal, this video is only going to be 10 10 minutes. This video is going to be half an hour. When I sit down, it's just kind of what happens will happen. These are my blue light blocking glasses. I don't have them on right now, but this is what they'd look like, kind of, if I was wearing them. Hello, how are you, Miss Lady? You know? Yeah, I gotta get myself a lady, that's for sure. I haven't had a girlfriend in like 2 years, something like that. Be nice to get another one. I don't go out enough to really get a girlfriend at this point, because I've been doing a lot of like swiping on like Tinder and stuff, but it doesn't go anywhere. You don't have any chance to use your riz or your charisma or whatever, build a rapport with somebody. Burp in their face and then have hiccups and stuff, but yeah, people communicate mostly with energy, not through a swipe, so I gotta get out more. I gotta just not work and then come home and make videos. It's like I have a job that's back house isolating, and then I come home and I'm pretty isolated. I'm just kind of grinding videos to try to, win the algorithm lottery and make some like ad revenue or whatever, but I gotta get into the real world more, and there's not much of a club scene here. There's not much even like ways that people are really meeting each other than a climb gym. That would probably be the best bet for like meeting a girl here, is a climb gym or a cafe. But then what am I gonna do? Just keep going to climb gyms and cafes and just kind of sitting there moping around, like be like kind of the fake performative guy at the cafe holding a book, reading the book for like 2 hours, going there every day. It probably works if people are doing it. I mean, like, if it didn't work, no one would do it. I've seen this one kind of skater guy, maybe like a couple of years younger than me, works like retail, in the mall, like at a clothing store, and then he's kind of at like the cafes, and he seems to be getting chicks. There's this one guy that works with me. He's a musician, and he just kind of has like the gig economy jobs, like me, but he's more charismatic and he's a musician. I don't play the guitar. I've tried, but I'm not very good. But yeah, it seems like that kind of trope of the stereotype of the musician getting girls is true. It's like you're happy-go-lucky, you're kind of smooth, you just go with the flow, and you can play an instrument, and you're not too serious. Maybe you're a little bit more feminine looking, and kind of women seem to, at least a certain type of women seem to really dig that, and they feel safe around that, and they feel like maybe there's a little bit of like a sense of humor too helps, obviously. But I have humor, but I don't have like the environment. Like, if you're like a musician and you're like doing open mics and like people come up and talk to you and stuff. So anyways, long story short, this guy's going around town fingering vaginas, and God bless him for it. But I gotta get myself a girlfriend. These are my blue light blocking glasses again. Anyways, so I hope people are doing well. God bless you. I might go to an Orthodox church on Sunday. I've tried a Ukrainian Orthodox church a few times. I want to go to the Russian one. I'm actually ethnically Russian. I don't speak the language. My dad did, but I don't. Just kind of maybe get back to basics. Maybe I've been listening to like the Orthodox chants, like I said, and I'm kind of in some kind of weird phase, like where I'm growing my beard and my hair out. Like, it's kind of like the look of like an Orthodox priest, really. So like I need like some kind of like taper fade or something. I don't know why I've been monk selling it so hard. Peterson or something, but I think the long hair looks alright. I think the beard looks okay. You can't really see that well in the dark, I don't know, but I've never really picked a hairstyle that I've stuck with. It's always kind of like I don't go to barbers. I just shave my head bald and then let it grow out, basically. And like how long I let it grow out with varies on my mood and my personality at the time, and kind of feeling like a bit of a grungy guy these days. I'm kind of feeling like 1990s grunge a lot of the time. I'm kind of dragging my feet through the day, and I'm not really wanting to do too much. And I don't know if that's me or if it's kind of just my appearance is kind of shaping how people are reacting to me, and maybe if I got like a cleaner cut, I'd feel a little bit more energetic or something. But somebody said to take zinc in the comments for my cold, and I just took some zinc, so thank you. That's actually a good idea. I should be feeling better by Saturday or something. I have like an MMA class thing tomorrow that I usually go to. I'm not going to go, I don't think. It's going to be highly unlikely that I'm going to feel better to the degree where it's going to make sense for me to like fight somebody tomorrow. Even if it's like sparring and not like a real fight, you know what I mean? And I don't want to be like grappling with somebody and like coughing and sneezing in their face and being like a dick about it either. Like that's not a good thing to do. I remember this one guy I was wrestling with like a year ago. He had pink eye and he kept touching his eyes and then like grabbing me like behind the head, like wrestling with me, and it's like, what the fuck? It's like, if I get pink eye now, I'm gonna be so. I didn't, but like I'd be livid if I got pink eye that way. Absolutely livid, and like I kept like refusing to shake his hand, and he took it personally. I could tell like that I was snubbing him, and maybe I should have just shook his hand and got over it. I was being like a drama queen in my feelings about it, like a very passive aggressive almost. Like maybe it was me being a dick, but it's at the same time. Like he kept picking his eyes and I didn't want to shake his hand. Like it's very eye contact and I didn't want pink eye, so it's like I don't know what else to do. It's like we're still okay. Like it's not like that ruined anything or anything. It's just something I thought about at the time. Like I'm never wanting to offend anybody or anything. It's funny though, because sometimes you don't want to offend somebody, you do anyways. Or you want to do this, or you don't want to do that, or, you know, you're kind of trying to, like, intervene into things, and it's just more stress than it's worth. Like, people will take things how they're going to take it regardless. And, I mean, you can't really worry about what other people are going to think of you. You just got to let the people that want to be around you, and then the people who don't, they're just going to naturally fall away. It's just things sort out themselves. It's not something that you need to like grapple with, and you don't need to wrestle people into your life and like hold people hostage into being your friend. It's like if they don't want to be your friend, or if they take offense to a slight thing and they never want to see you again, that's their decision. So I mean, it's just a natural way to filter people out. Like, you be the best you can be, but don't be like a people pleaser. Don't try to think and put yourself in someone else's head and like, oh, what's this person thinking of me? Maybe if I change my behavior this way, they'll stay around more. That is nonsense. Never do that. Ever, ever, ever. It's poison. It will kill you. That will actually kill you. Worse than death. Because if you get shot in the head, you're dead. Maybe something else comes after. But if you get killed by pussyfooting around other people's feelings, you're alive, but you're dead inside, and you're nobody. Your soul is dead. And that's worse than a physical death. That's a spiritual death. So, anyways, I think I'm going to wrap this video up. I'm going to upload it right now, pretty much tonight. I'm going to click upload and maybe fall asleep when it's uploading. I don't know, but I feel a lot better today than I did 4 days ago or even yesterday. yesterday I woke up in sweat. The whole bed was wet, just like it's like a slip and slide, like the night sweats. I guess that's just your body flushing out all the toxins, all the illness. So I'm gonna wash my sheets tomorrow, I guess, but hopefully feel better tomorrow. I felt like shit the last few days. I tell you, I took off the whole week of work. I'm not gonna be doing any labor or anything. It gave me a little bit of time to catch up on work around the house. I had dishes that I didn't do, so I had to get those done. So I wasn't really leaving to go, like, do walks or anything even. So getting up out of bed and onto my feet to do the dishes was like my exercise for the week. Excuse my coughs again, but I mean, what can you do? Hopefully they're not too loud and disruptive, but if they are, it's an added bonus, so, just roll with it. So I hope everyone's doing good. God bless you. Thanks for checking out the channel. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. There's not nearly enough comments on here. Like, even just put an emoji thumbs up or something. It lets me know to keep going, and it also helps my algo, so it's a win-win on my behalf. And if no one's really engaging with this channel, it's just gonna die. So I mean, like, people are gonna have to comment eventually to keep the channel afloat, and a lot of that's on me to make good content, but a lot of it's on you too. So shame on you if you're not commenting, you a-hole. But I think I'm gonna go to bed now. I had a good day. It was a better day than yesterday. I went out, I did a quick walk around the block, but I didn't have enough energy still. I don't know what else to talk about. I mean, it seems like Trump just settled that Iran situation. That was a shit show. Yeah, but yeah, anyways, I think I'm gonna just cut this off now. It's 22 minutes. That's a decent amount. That's a reasonable time. It's not 10, it's not 12. I think my last one was 12, and I got a complaint that it was too short, so this is another 10 minutes on top of it, so, hopefully that's good. God bless everybody, and have a good sleep.